Well, you've valued the company at 5 billion naira
Somebody
today.
give me the amount I've valued it and say, give me the license, I will not do that.
What's your investment?
About 350 million naira. Verifiable, yes.
Was it from loans?
No.
350 million. Hey! Oh boy, they're entrepreneurs who are really die-hard entrepreneurs. Like, seriously? This guy has been working on this since like more than a decade, maybe two. But, oh my God, there's so much. There's so much to talk about, I swear. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julie J and you're welcome to Personality Highlights. So today we're talking about The Lion's Den, episode 5. And I would not lie, this is by far the most interesting episode I have seen in The Lion's Den. Guy, if you're not watching The Lion's Den, I think you need to just activate your entrepreneurship mindset, business mindset, and just kick into the game, like get on board into watching this reality show, because there is so much that we have to actually learn from this reality show, this business reality show. I mean, I think it's the best. If you're hopping into my channel for the very first time, you're welcome on board. Thank you so much for hopping in. My name is Julie and I do reviews on reality shows. I talk about social issues. I talk about a lot of things. Today we're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about that because this reality show is actually for businesses and for entrepreneurs who are looking for investors to get into their business to scale. And for some reason, this particular episode is really eye-opening. But before I go into this conversation, I'd like to oblige you. I'd like to appeal to you to subscribe to this channel, to be a part of this conversation, just to support my channel a bit, to help it grow more. And of course, a thumbs up to this video will be appreciated, as it will make it more visible and actually make the interaction and conversation in this channel, get out there. And I would also appreciate it if you have subscribed to turn on post notification bell so that you always get alerts of my video every time I share new content. Guys, with this whole thing, this whole thing happening in The Lion's Den, I think this particular episode is so special. And the reason why it's so special is because I see a lot of us in this entrepreneurs who came in to pitch. So as usual, every episode has 4 entrepreneurs who come in with their business plan, with their business proposal, and then pitch for an investment sum, and then of course give out an equity share of their business. There are so many huge lessons in this particular episode, and I will not be talking about it like I do from the previous ones. I usually just do a run through of all the 4 entrepreneurs, but for this particular episode I'm going to be sharing it into 2. So this is the episode 5, The Lion's Den episode 5 part 1. There's going to be a part 2, so probably after you watch this you probably want to check that video out so that you follow up on the conversation. I mean, I don't want this video to get too lengthy. That's basically why I had to divide it into 2. So guys, 4 entrepreneurs came in, and the first entrepreneur was POLYGUARD, Patrick, and he talked about his mining business. This guy has a very big business, and in his mining, wherever he mines from, he has 3 minerals. I mean, 3 minerals. You see, from everything we can see a passionate entrepreneur who has spent his years working hard, who has done his research, and who is really looking for something very, 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 very solid, to grow his business. So Patrick came in offering looking for 500 million for a 10% equity share. Guys, 500 million is $500 million naira. I want you to get the facts right. I want you to get the figures right. $500 million naira is what this guy is asking for his mining business. And of course, we can tell from everything that this is a big business. A lot of questions came in from the 5 lions. I mean, the questions were hitting him back to back, but from the very first onset, his presentation was very, very sound. Like, he made a lot of sense when he was talking, when he was addressing the challenges. Like, from his conversation, we could tell that he was really passionate about everything that he was saying. So basically, guys, in this part 1, I'm going to be talking about the first 2 entrepreneurs, and in the part 2, you're going to watch this second entrepreneur, the last 2 entrepreneurs who came in. So Patrick basically came in asking for 500 million. Now, what is he supposed to use this money for? He's supposed to use it to put into his business, get more money, get like logistics, a lot of things he wants to use the money for. Now, after the entrepreneur pitches, like, there's always a question and answer. And guys, the first question came. This question and answer session is the best part of this whole show. So the first question came from Bolaji. So Bolaji asked for the mining location. Bolaji asked for the mining location, and he said the mining location was in Benue State. And I think after that, a lot other lions started asking their question. After that, I mean, the next question that came in, I think somebody asked the directors in the business who owned the business what his percentage was in the business. Those lions are coming in, they are seeing this business as a very big business, and they asked him for the directors in the business. He talked about his wife being part of the business, and he talked about a lot of things. Then afterwards, the next thing he was asking for, anyways, he was asked for the sum, the cost of logistics, and I think he said $50 per metric ton, however they weigh that stuff. So he talked about it, and basically at the end of the day we could find out that the logistics was one of the biggest challenges this guy was having in helping his business like transport the minerals to customers who needed it. And basically one of the triggering questions that was asked was, how much have you invested in it? Hey, I mean, when that question came out, how much have you invested? And he said 350 million. And when the guy said 350 million, I was like, oh my god, this guy has invested a lot. In fact, at that point, he said his wife doesn't want to hear about anything called mining. I mean, basically, I think this guy has sold his life, his time, his resources into this big dream. And this kind of businesses will take a long time to manifest, but eventually I think this is one of those businesses that only passion will make you stay in them. At the end of the day, his presentation was fantastic. I didn't see any flaw in anything he said. He was someone that had dedicated his time. He knew his numbers. He knew everything. And then the lions started, one by one, they started opting out, and it was very painful. Like, I will not lie, I felt like crying when some of the lions started opting out. Dan opted out because he said the unknown variables were high, the logistics was there, the problem with a lot of things, and because of that he was not going to invest in. After that, Paul even said something about that it was a good business, but because I think he said the amount 500 million is too much, he was not ready to invest that much in a business. And of course, guys, I will not even lie, 500 million is not being so, it's half a billion naira. And I think Paul didn't invest because he said it was too high for him, and that was his reason. Adenike came up with her own reasons too. But guys, here is the most interesting part about this. The most interesting part about this particular pitch was that at the end of the day, even though these lions gave their reasons, they gave a lot of reasons, and I think their reasons were very cogent reasons. But these two solid lions made me feel happy at the end of the day, because even though they did not invest, none of the lions invested, but they were willing to invest, because when they asked him about the logistics and he gave this hint, he said about 2 months time that there was a company that was coming in that would help with the delivery and everything. He was asked about insurance, he was asked about a lot of things, and they were like, okay, Mrs. Adenike said, why don't you wait till 2 months time? After 2 months, then you would be able to just make your money, do your thing without having, come back and then make a better pitch. Basically, I think that was one of the reasons why the lions were scared, because of course when they said 350 million, they needed to verify that. So they wanted to be sure that they are coming into a business that was really, really solid. But at the end of the day, they were like, why don't you wait for 2 months? After 2 months, when the company is here, they know that everything is running, then we can invest in it. So with that, Patrick did not lose out, even though his 500 million was not met. Nobody agreed, nobody even negotiated about how much they were going to be getting. But two lions gave him an offer, and Bolaji actually was one of them. Bolaji actually pointed out that he needs that, looking at the mining business, that it was very certain that he needs more money, and that he probably would invest, but not now, and that they were going to give him the mentorship he needed. They were going to give him a handheld experience of how he was going to be running his business, and then right there also some other person decided to also join him. Kiara decided to also join, and they were like, okay, you know what, we're ready to do something with you, but it should be when we know that things are balance, after the 2 months, and probably he might come back and then you pitch, and then they will definitely. And I will not lie, out of this first entrepreneur really had everything that needs an investor to come in, but I think they were skeptical because of the amount involved, because of the work that has to still be put in, because it was a deep business that required deep pockets. And so, but there's hope with this guy. I'm going to be looking out and following up on his business, because I see a future in the business. But I will not lie, the Lions Den is a great platform for entrepreneurs to get visible, and I'm very sure if this guy doesn't even get help from the Lions Den, he would definitely have investors. I mean, this is a show I know a lot of investors will watch. It's like a link program where investors and people who want to pitch their business are going to come in to hook up with the businesses they want, either to learn from the challenges of these entrepreneurs, and of course know how to do their business. So that was the first entrepreneur who came in. Now he left not in a very sad mood, in a very hopeful mood, and I think that was why I didn't even bother to bring out my handkerchief to cry. So the next entrepreneur we saw were two young, vibrant entrepreneurs, if you ask me. These dudes walked in, and guys, they were pitching for an agri-commerce business. It was like an agri-tech kind of business where they were linking farmers to the market, and these guys were a mouthful. They had a lot of things to say, and this was even where their problem started. So after they had pitched, they were asking for something very, very simple. They were asking for 40 million naira for a 10% equity share. Guys, I think I liked their business. I liked their youthful exuberance. But one of the things that I noticed about this particular set was they were so incoherent. The lead speaker, he was just everywhere. He was talking, and in fact at the point, the Lions had to keep calming him down. Dude was still talking even when the Lions were turning down his offer. And I was like, Oga, calm down now, calm down. Like, calm down. We know you really need this money, but you need to calm down. Like, the youthful exuberance was on another level. I think it was like over 100%. And after the question and answer,
you mentioned something about 40% or 50% post-harvest loss.
Yes, that's actually 2.4 billion tons of food that we waste yearly.
Right, but you are in your process. Is there any way you can minimize or reduce those wastes?
Yes.
How?
One of the reasons that causes post-harvest loss is poor storage and lack of adequate market for the farmers. Because we are using technology, we have access to a very large market.
You're not telling me, are you refrigerating it?
Okay, like what is explained now, we built e-commerce technology for the farmers.
Right.
And because of that, from the
So
start of
farm gate to delivery to
JIT.
homes
from
is shorted. So
JIT.
it's JIT.
From when you start your produce, you can already list it. And
Yes.
from there, we are already creating markets because we are an online
they
platform.
talked about post harvesting loss, and I think that was supposed to be their unique selling point. But the only problem they had with this business was they knew all the problems that their business, like they knew all the problems they were going to be solving, but they had not been able to look for a route, look for a serious way to solve the problem. The only thing they wanted to do was to be the intermediary, and even at being the intermediary, I think they were complicating the issue, because at the point when they were saying that they buy produce from farmers and then resell, I felt like, okay, maybe this is just an e-commerce business. They were not really the middlemen. So the inventory part of it was what messed the whole thing up. Dan came in with the question of insurance, sustainability. Guys, these dudes were a mouthful, and they said a lot of things that complicated their business. Let me even read out some of the questions that they were asked. They talked about poor distribution. They said agricultural products were not really marketed, and what they were trying to do was to help farmers market their produce, to the immediate consumers. And of course, that was a very, very nice one. It looks like a fantastic intermediary, like a link up for the farmers and of course the people who wanted to consume this product. But at the end of the day, I noticed that these guys were too aggressive, and which was what made them completely lose out from it. Guys, I would not even lie. These guys just didn't know what they were doing. They needed to just go and analyze, get their structures right, get a lot of things right. And basically, at the end of the day, nobody offered anything. 40 million went down the drain. No investor. In fact, it was just a bunch of advice on how they needed to work on themselves. But at the end of the day, I noticed these guys were just into the aggressive marketing. They were not listening. I don't even know if after the show they're still going to listen to know what to do to solve their problem. But guys, that was how it went down. So at the end of the day, the first entrepreneurs who came into the Lions Den in the episode 5 didn't get any money, guys. It was really painful, but I'm going to be talking about the part 2 of the people of what happened to the last 2 entrepreneurs. You probably want to check out that video. Guys, thank you for watching. You guys, check out the next video so that you follow up on this conversation. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, of course. Guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Let's talk about it, what happened in the Lions Den. The episode 5, it was really hilarious. A lot of lessons to be learned. Guys, I mean, if there's anything like aggressive marketing, I think we should take it down a bit, know our numbers. There are things that investors are looking for, and it's not being a mouthful. You're not going in there to give them an essay of your business. You're just going there to say yes or no. Of course, when you know you have a structure in your business.
Just let's make it snappy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't tell stories.
No.
Listen,
I don't want a
calm
lecture.
down.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
somebody asks you a question, just directly answer the
Please.
question.
Yes.
So I would like to shed more light on this question. So
Okay.
so once you do
No, I've heard enough.